To everyone in the United States and around the world, this is Love, Truth, and Peace. I'm your host, Dr. Melody Harris Barrow, coming to you live from Miami. This show was created to equip nations and people with the knowledge and tools they need to improve, create, build, prosper, and change their environments so that they can effectively lead to a better future. Today's topic, Honduras. It's about Honduras. And to discuss, I would like to introduce my guest today, Carla Garcia, Coordinator of International Affairs for OFRANE, and Mr. Ronnie Castillo, Garifuna International and Academic in charge of OFRANE Education. Today is a very important day for many of us, especially the Garifunas. We love you and we want to help you. Something happened in Honduras that disturbs me and many others. 5 Black men from the Garifuna kidnapped by police in Honduras are still missing in Triunfo de la Cruz. 12 armed men in police uniforms and balaclavas entered the town in the pre-dawn hours of July 18 in unmarked brand new pickups despite a COVID-19 curfew. They abducted the 5 Garifuna men at gunpoint. Eyewitnesses reported the assailants were uniforms of the DPI or the investigative arm of the Honduran National Police, but seemed disorganized and amateur, according to eyewitnesses. They forced the men into their trucks and drove off into the night. Nothing has been seen or heard since of either the marked men or their captors. No one have heard about these 5 men. Security forces have been reported to have higher presence in the affected communities since the abduction. Protests have been metastasized since the kidnappings of these 5 Garifuna men. And to discuss, we have Carla and Rani that they are going to discuss this issue with us today. Hello, Carla, and hello, Ronnie. ¿Cómo están?
Yeah, thank you, Dr.
Yes.
Barrow.
Yes.
Now I have your last name correctly. I'm a name killer. I'm so sorry.
Yes.
Thank you very much for this opportunity to be here in this program. And I want to give first the space to my colleague
Yes.
inside, Mr. Ronnie Castillo, to introduce himself too. My name is Carla Garcia. I'm the international relationship of Ofrane, and I'm living right now in New York.
Yes.
Thank
Ronnie?
you. Thank you very much, Dr. Harris,
Yes.
for having us in this great show. I will also want to greet my sister Carla and your entire audience today. We are fine. We are ready to discuss this problem, this struggle that we have in Honduras for our people, for our brothers.
Right. I want to start with Carla because Carla, I want you to explain more about briefly about the Garifuna. Many don't know anything about the Garifuna. We have a guest here, Omotola Fawumi. She's from Nigeria, and she is very, very interested now in the history of the Garifuna, since there's some connection with West Africa. Could you begin to tell us about briefly the history of the Garifuna?
Of course, I can. I'm very proud of my community. I have to say that the Garifuna community is the youngest communities in America. We born, I think, maybe 600 years ago. We are half African and half indigenous. Our father is African, and our mother is indigenous. And this community born in Saint Vincent, in front of the coast of Venezuela. There we was a according to the records, was a very prosper community, but the world started to divide the land, and the island, the St. Vincent Island, was given to the Crown of England. So they
Mhm.
came to the St. Vincent thinking that nobody was living there, and we was already there for more than at least or more than 300 years. And
Right.
we had a very, very big war, 7 years war for the land, fighting for our right to continue being in the land. We lost this war, and a portion of our warriors were deported or exiled to Honduras. So in 1976, um, sorry, 1796, we was deported to Honduras, and now today we have more than 50 Garifuna communities in Honduras in the Atlantic coast. Um,
Mhm.
we right now are struggling with the same thing, the land, because now the government and different rich people is trying to take away the land that we possess since more than 200 years. I have to say that the Garifuna community is one of the communities who conserve all their cultural right. So that's why we are one of the patrimony of the humanity,
Mhm.
because
Mhm.
we continue conserving our language, our way to cook the food, our spirituality that is very, very important. And also, we are a very, very united group because we know that if we don't have land, we don't have our culture and will be missed. So,
Right. Exactly. Let's get into the specific about the 5 men that was abducted. It seems that the riots that's happening in Honduras is based on the 5 men that was abducted, Ronnie. So what I want to get into today is the fact that why would they abduct these 5 men? Are they leaders in the community? Who are they?
Yeah, thank you for this question. We know that I would like to start with a W. Du Bois quote that
Yes.
when he said that problem of the 20th century is a problem of color line. I
Yes.
think I think this quote can explain a little bit why our people, our brothers, have been kidnapped in Honduras. Why our Garifuna community has been persecuted, has been criminalized, and they are killing our people and on those coasts just because we're black, just
Okay.
because we are people that we are fighting for our land. And
That's
that is why I'm trying to denounce in the very beginning of this program that they can stop it, because this is a genocidal plan to exterminate our people, because they want our land, they want our territory for their purpose, for the projects, for tourism, for their industrial projects. Yeah, that is the tragedy that is going on in our country. But
Yes.
what's happening today? We are in the 21st century, yes, but we
Yes.
are facing the same problem of,
Mhm.
even though we know that we have like a politics of inclusion, integration, but the color of the skin is still determine whether we live or die. That is the problem. That is what happened in our country today,
Yeah.
in our community.
Well, the thing is that I want to say that this is not only happening in Honduras. There's a target now for Black people around the world, people of color. There's a target not only for Honduras. And this is why it's important that people of color need to unite. We need to unite because there is an agenda of genocide in
Right.
our community. Why I'm saying that is because there's a report here in America that there is a majority of Black people that are dying of COVID-19. Now, I don't know if COVID-19 is prejudice or whoever is behind COVID-19, but I find it very strange that how is it possible that there is a majority, and they took a long time to bring that data out. So we have to be conscious that this is not just in America, in Africa, this is around the world. Wherever we are, this is a huge genocide on Black people around the world. For police officers to come into a community to abduct four leaders actually, because I think the other person was visiting the community in the home, so he was taking as well. So the problem here is that the reason why I am bringing awareness on this show to all of our brothers and sisters around the world is because you are not the only one. And when I say you, I mean whether it is you're in Panama, whether you're in Puerto Rico or in Brazil, there is an agenda. And I'm going to say this too because it is so important that we realize why. We are waking up. Black people are waking up around the world. And this is the fear that they have. And not only that, but they are going around the world taking people's land, just like yours, and actually committing murder, abduction, all sorts of things. And this has to stop. Carla, I want to ask you as well, because these are things that not just again happening in Honduras, but the question is this: what's happening now? They've been gone since July 18th. Here we are is September 9th, and no one has heard anything about these men. But I think in the last show, you had mentioned that other people have been abducted before but have returned. What are the hope for these 5 men coming back? Tell us about that.
Dr. Harris, it's very, very important for us to mention that the indigenous and Black people, we live in common union with the mother nature. We
Yeah,
don't take away from the nature what we don't need. We use exactly what we need, and we try to provide to the mother nature what can serve to
yeah.
our next generations. So this is
Mhm.
one of the big problems that indigenous and Black communities have in America,
Yes.
because in the big cities, everything is gone in terms of nature. So now they need our rivers, they need our land because it's rich. We can grow food there, but also they are trying to remove us. Remember something? There's a book that I wrote 3 years ago about um, how the big emporiums make wars, and
Mhm.
to be successful in the wars you need to be near to the coast. You need to
Right.
have the land in the island, and
Mhm.
everybody is taking away, not inside of the countries. Nobody is going in the middle of Honduras to take away
Mhm.
land.
Mhm.
It's going to our space.
Yeah.
Also, we don't have to forget that and mention that in Honduras there's a big problem with narco traffic.
Mhm.
Honduras is the center of Central America. Everything that is coming from South America pass through from Honduras or through Honduras, and everything that is coming from North America pass from through Honduras.
Okay.
What you see if is for the land or for the sea, for the air.
Mhm. Yes.
Everything is happen there.
Mhm.
And in New York right now, the brother of the president of Honduras will be sentenced for narco traffic. So why I'm putting everything in this intervention? Because we conserve the land. And Albert Snyder Centeno, the president of the patronato, the chief of the community, was fighting to get from the state, from Honduran government, they were supposed to comply with a sentence from the international court. This sentence is coming from 2015, and this sentence says that all the land that the state took away from the Garifuna community is supposed to go back to the community, and also is the money that the state must pay to the community, not also to the
Yes.
community of Triunfo de la Cruz, also the Garifuna community of Punta Piedra. We lost Snyder Centeno in July. In June, in the other community, Punta Piedra, one of the biggest leaders was kidnapped too, at the same way. But
Wow.
he we found him dead. Somebody killed him, and it's
Oh my
impossible to make an investigation because the body was too damaged to, according to the police, to make an investigation
God.
and try to see who killed him. But we know
Right,
that
right.
it's important to mention that around the world there's a strategy to um to kill or to disappear the black communities. But also we need to point that the government of Honduras is doing his part, their part, to try to disappear the Garifuna community.
Exactly. Ronnie, do you want to add to that? You mute. You're mute. Yeah.
Sorry. Just to add that we have been protesting in our country, just for what Carla saying, in all the cities, even around the world, in the United States, in Europe, all we are like raising our voice just to make sure that to speak out about what is going on in our country. We have blocked the streets so that they can listen us. They can listen what we are saying, what we are demanding for our country. We know that in Honduras we don't have the rule of or law. We are, because our president Juan Orlando was reelected against the Constitution. We are defenseless. But that is why we want to ask you. You can stand up with us and speak up, just to ask for this for stopping this kind of aggression against our people. I know we are peaceful. We are, as Garifuna people, we are peaceful people. We are tired, but we are tired. We want to fight. We want to fight back because we want be in peace. That is what.
Yeah, I think the thing is that honestly, when we talk about peacefulness, when we talk about that, I think that even the natives of the lands before Columbus arrived, because Africa was already trading with the indigenous people before the Europeans came. Well, before Columbus came, he came and he said he discovered something, but he discovered it for Europe. He didn't discover it for anyone else. You know, he discovered something for his people, but we were already here. We were already trading with each other. And as the history that I know of the Garifunas, there was a ship coming from West Africa, and also there were Nigerians on that ship. There were many, people from Africa that most likely might have been on that ship, and the ship was wrecked, but it was wrecked close to St. Vincent. Is that correct? So what happened is that the Africans, like yourself, mingle with the Arawaks and the Caribs. And that's how we derive the Garifuna. Now, what I am saying is this. My brothers and sisters from Africa, these are your brothers and these are your sisters. Now, I would go as far as saying that when we were taken from Africa and brought to this region, we were not rescued. Not all of us was rescued. There were Some of us was rescued in Brazil, but not much in this region. Now, we have a situation throughout this sixth region, throughout the African diaspora. These are the things that's happening to us. Genocide. So what I am challenging governments in Africa and Africa period, and my brothers and sisters in Africa, these are your brothers and sisters. The problem is that we are often giving names as though we're different from our brothers in Africa. So the issue is this. We are calling ourselves Afro descendants. We call ourselves all these names that was given to us. So my brothers in Africa, they have gone through colonialism, but at the same time, we're disconnected. We are disconnected because we are giving all these names. And my brothers and sisters, when you speak about the African diaspora, you're speaking about the Africans that willingly leave the country for better opportunities, whether it's education, whether it's better life. This is who you refer as the African diaspora. I want to say that the African diaspora is all of us, because the first thing that happened is the fact that we were taken by force. We did not come here because we wanted to. So what I am doing is connecting Africa and the diaspora, my brothers, my governments in Africa, the African Union. Listen to me. We are here in this region. We need help. You never came and got us, but this is now an opportunity for you to get involved with what's happening now. We need to circulate this information, and not just what's happening in Honduras. We are going through the same thing in Panama, in Costa Rica, in Puerto Rico, all over this region. There's a genocide. The genocide is not just in Honduras, but it's all through, from Brazil all the way to North America. So all throughout the Americas, there's a genocide with African Americans. They are killing our people, but because we're not communicating with each other, we don't know. We're thinking it's just us. So I am challenging you, African Union, my brothers and sisters in Africa, the governments in Africa. How can we come together now and rescue our brothers and sisters? How can you guide us? How can you help us? What advice can you give us in order to stop this genocide? The genocide is also happening in Africa. But the bottom line is we all have to come together, Ronnie, and we all have to come together, Carla. That's what I wanted to say, because I think it's important now for us to stop saying I'm Panamanian and let's put down the flag for a second. We are all the same people. All of us are the same people. When I look at you, Ronnie, I could say you from Ghana. When I look at Carla, Carla could be from Nigeria. Hello. And I could be anywhere in Africa. So my point is,
yeah, you are right. You are right, Dr. Harris. You are right, because we even though we share the same condition as Black also here in this region, you know that they established that slavery just to dehumanize us.
yes,
They made us like stateless, homeless, and even landless.
yes,
And now they are trying to exterminate us.
That's
And
right.
we must come together and unite and fight back, because
That's right.
we are tired for the same thing.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
And those that are watching this show this minute, please share this show while we are talking. Share this show after the program, because we have to get to know each other. We're all brothers and sisters. Now, I want to show some of you, and you're going to think that this is in America, or you might think that this is in another country. But what I want to show you right now is this is happening all throughout the world when it comes to people of African descent. Africans. I say we're all Africans, but we always say people of African descent. Let me just show you what's happening in Honduras. You're going to think it's America. Look at this. This is Honduras fighting for their lives. This is Honduras. These are all mixed people, Garifunas, native. Look at the police officers. Look at this. Take a look. This is what's happening. Look at the police officers. They dress almost the same like the police officers in America. What is this? What's really happening in the world? Look at us. Take a good look at our brothers and sisters. You would think that this is in Africa. That's because these are your brothers and sisters in Honduras. Look at this. Look at this. I am showing you exactly what's happening in the world. Look at this woman challenging, letting them know that we are human beings. This is what you're seeing. Women standing strong, men standing strong. This is what's happening not only in Honduras, but in the world. You want to have any comment, Carla? Could you talk about the riots and talk about what's really happening now at this present time, please?
Yes, you have different pictures of different moments in Honduras.
Yes.
Because we, as our brother Ronnie says, Honduras has no right, no law. So the people, time to time, is coming outside because every Honduran is tired about what is happening inside of the country, and also the Garifuna community is tired. We are pacific. We want to live in peace, but we are tired to put the dead people. All the
Yes.
dead people is coming from the poor or the black communities or from the indigenous communities. I want to say something. Last year, 2019, we had 20 23 people from the Garifuna community killed between women's and men's. 19 of them people who was in front of the community fighting for the right of the community. We are talking about at least we have like 400,000 Garifuna in Honduras, and we have more than 50 Garifuna communities in all the coast, Atlantic coast. So we are not a few people in Honduras. We are a lot, and we also put the name of Honduras in. We raised the name of Honduras. You can see Garifunas in the football team going to the World Cup. You can see our culture, the Garifuna culture, going around the world representing Honduras. But when we are going to talk about our right as humans, as black, as indigenous, as people who born in Honduras, nobody came out for us. So we are tired of that. So that's why we are going outside. We are going outside, taking roads, raising our voice. We had women going to the in front of the offices of the police, making their visible because only when they need what we have or what we produce, they look for us and they put the light over us. But when we need they help, they don't come to us. It's important to say this. The Garifuna community did not receive from the government much help. Garifuna community live because our men still going to the sea. And right now the sea was sold by the government and we don't have too much permission. We are not allowed in some times of the year to go outside and fish what we need for our house, not to sell for
Right.
our house or for our communities. We have communities that now they don't have access to the sea, and part of our way to live is being having access to the sea. We live because our mothers, our women go to the land and grow the cassava and grow everything that we need to eat. And also because the Garifunas who live outside from Honduras are
Mhm.
they send money to their families. This is the way that we survive in Honduras. And
Yes.
we're not asking for more. Just
Mhm.
we are demanding that
Yes.
our rights must be
Yes.
respected.
Right. And Ronnie, I know that the president of Honduras also, because you mentioned the other day that the United States is funding the police department there, and they're funding. Could you talk more about that from what we spoke about the last show?
Yeah, the president of Honduras, Orlando Hernandez. Yeah, I have. Yeah, sure. The president of Honduras, Orlando Hernandez, was inaugurated as a second term. We can say that, and that's in 2017, in 2018. But
Yeah.
he is receiving support from the government of the United States because we have been, as we mentioned earlier, we have been protesting, we have been doing whatever we can just
Yes.
make sure that our right to be respected. But
Hmm.
nothing happened in Honduras. Why?
Hmm.
That is very important to us to tell to the United States citizens or people who live in here in the United States or even around the world to push a little bit for the you could be congressman, you be could be a representative or senator here to United States just to send some letter to Juan Orlando is say he said him say him to uh, stop this kind of violence, this kind of strategy, this kind of horrific thing that he's preparing. He's trying to exterminate our people, what we say. But Juan Orlando is supported, I say, from Donald Trump. Donald Trump, the president of the United States, he giving money. He's training our military. He's training our police, and he giving money to different kind of activity. Even in the election, in that inauguration in 2018, the first country that recognized Juan Orlando Hernandez, even though he was against the Constitution, was the United States, was the
Yes.
president of the United States. We think that is part of the plan. As you
Yes.
mentioned earlier, this happening around the world. They are trying to exterminate all black people. In this
Mhm.
case, we as Garifuna people, they don't want us to be on those territory. They hate us. They are racist, and they are trying to make sure that they can expel us again from our
Exactly.
country because we don't deserve anything
Yeah.
that like that.
And
And it's funny because yeah, go ahead,
yes,
Carla.
I want
Oh,
to be enough fair because we must remember that a different president was in place when the coup happened in Honduras in 2009. Like,
mhm.
yeah, 2009. And we can see that this is a campaign. It's not something that from one party go in the head of government in the United States. I think it's something that, as you said, happening around the world, and it's a plan.
Yeah.
Also, it's important to mention that for Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador, there's a plan or there's a project naming North Triangle. And usually, when you watch the news in from other states in the United States, they're going to refer to the countries in Central America as the countries of the North Triangle. North Triangle is a very important um,
Mhm.
project for the United States because some of the land in those territories will be give to United States, to Canada, to China to develop that places. But what is the most important part of the North Triangle? This
Mhm.
project doesn't need people living in that places. Must be clear of people. So for that reason, we have this Garifuna community members, men's, women's, families, complete families coming through the border into the United States because they are cleaning our territory to put it in the hands of other developers. And
Right.
United States is involved in this big project.
Yeah, the thing is that in most Latin American countries and in the world, the United States is always involved. What's happening in Panama, and I don't want to drift too far, but it pertains to what we're talking about. Is the same thing. We had the COVID-19. The people only received $80 a month, and you have five. You know, in Latin American country, you don't just have two kids, you have four, you have five children. How is it possible that the country can only give you $80 a month? And then the president decided, well, let me give them an extra $20. And now they started receiving $100 a month. And then when they were able to come out, the process was they can only come out the home to shop for only 2 hours in that day. And men will go out on certain days, women go out on certain days. So even if someone tried to sell something, those entrepreneurs that are trying to sell things on the street, they will arrest them. I've seen that in videos. So it's almost like they're trying, that's genocide. That is killing us in every which way with COVID-19, with killing us, kidnapping us. So you see, the reason they kidnapped those 5 men is to teach you a lesson. Don't do what you are doing.
Yeah.
That's the idea. They are putting fear in the people. And to say, if you go out there and do what they're doing, then we're going to do the same to you. It's done. It's over. We are going to do as Black, because we're tired. We're tired of suffering. People are saying, guess what? We don't have anything to lose. That's the point that it's coming to. We don't have anything to lose. So we have to fight back. Being nice is not the right way to protest. People are tired, not only even in Africa. And this is why I tell my brothers, even in Africa, don't fight with each other, because this is what they want us to do. This is the time to realize and analyze and open your mind now to say, let's not fight with each other. Nigeria, South Africa, why are we fighting with each other? No, this is time now to open your eyes and your mind and say it is time for all of us now, Carla and Ronnie, to unite. Regardless what name they have given us, let's unite. And that's why it is important to connect Africa and the diaspora. And when I talk about the diaspora, I mean every man of color in the world, because that's what it's about. Now we have 4 minutes left, and I would love for Carla and Ronnie to let us know what is it that we can do. And those people that are watching right now, even if you can't do anything, pass this video to bring awareness of what's happening in not just Honduras, but if you were to know what's happening in Brazil, oh my God, I have to bring some people from Brazil also to talk about what's happening in Brazil. And that's coming soon, because this show is about bringing awareness of things that you don't know what's happening around the world. So Carla, I'm giving you the floor. I want you to let the people know what is it that they can do and how we can help. Go ahead.
Yeah, thank you again. I appreciate this opportunity. And I want to say, as I mentioned earlier, and if you know my father, if you know the father of my community, he's an African man. If you are his sibling, if you are part of his family, please try to understand that my father, the father of my community, try to do whatever he can to do to maintain or to sustain his blood alive. And we are part of this blood. So if you live in the country where my father born, if you live in Africa, in the continent where my father born, please come together. Say something. Try to give us a little bit support to sustain our fight. I will appreciate, the Garifuna community will appreciate that. Also, if you know the mother of my community, if you know my mother, she is indigenous. She is from America. That's why we belong also to America. Come together. If you live in those countries in South America and you see somebody who can say something to the government, do it, please. Tell them that we are in problems in Honduras, but we still fighting and we will continue fighting for our right, not for us, for our future generations. And we need to give to our future generations a world in what they can live. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Thank you. Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Dr. Harris. Thank you for this space to raise our voice and to speak out about this specific thing, this genocidal plan. As Carla said, we are tired, but we will continue this fight. This is really going on. We are trying to make sense. Even within our community, just to continue this fight, because they are going to find all the way to eliminate us. That is why we need everyone's support. We need every everyone's support in this struggle.
Yes.
You can send letters, you can give your signature, you can just to help us defending our rights, because we want they can respect and they comply the ruling of the Inter-American Court of Human Rights to be fulfilled. Because the peace is very unique for us. It's very important. We want our territory to be in peace. We want they can be returned to our territory, our communities, all those our brothers in Honduras, because they have been taken alive. We want them back alive to our community. We need you. We need you today more than ever. Thank
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. That was powerful. Both of your messages to the people. I appreciate both of you. We will continue to make and to work together, because that's what it's about. I want to send a message out to my brothers and sisters that are listening to this show. As I said before, it is time to lay your flags down. Your flags are actually have been a mission to oppress us. All of us that are in different countries, I have not seen yet what the flag have done for us, what governments have done for us. If you take a look around your neighborhood, and I'm talking about Black people all over the world, take a look of the majority of Black people or where they are. There's certain sections, and the sections that they're in, there's poverty. Why is that? We have to wake up. We have been separated from each other for a very long time, for centuries. They have given us names. They have called us Negro. They have called us all kind of names. Now they're calling us African American. They have called me Chomba in Panama. They have called us all kind of names. They have defined us. Now it's time for us to define ourselves. Because as you can see, the education that was provided to us was to serve, not to build, not to create. So it's time now for us to build, but build with each other. It is time now for us to create, but to create with each other. It's time now for us to put our money together in order to help one another. I have just built and just started the 6th region Global Chamber of Commerce in order for us to come together and put our money together, trade with each other, something that we have not done. Why? Because in Africa, your colonializers have taught you only to do business with them. You do business with Europe, you do this business in France, everywhere, but you don't do business in Latin America, the Caribbean, and if you do business in America, are you really doing business with African Americans? No, you're not. Very few. Now, what I am saying is, I have created what we call the chamber, but this chamber is going to be virtual. This 6-region global chamber of commerce is going to be virtual. It is already going to be launched. We're going to launch this chamber next month. And all Black people in the world, you need to sign up to this chamber. We will give you the information in the future. Why? Why is it that we're still depending on those that's oppressing us? We have been given a name as Afro-Descendientes. Why? Why are you defining me? It is time now for me to define who I am. And I know that many have said, okay, Melida, you were born in Panama, you are Panamanian, and you are Afro-Descendientes. Well, let me tell you who I am. I am not descendant. I am African, born in Panama. So for all of you that is defining us, it is time for us now to define ourselves. So let's trade with each other. Let's help each other. For example, what's happening in Honduras, we should be able to financially help our brothers and sisters. But we can't. Why? Because we're spending our money exactly giving it back to our oppressors. It is time to circulate our money with each other. I want to thank you for watching this show, Love, Truth, and Peace. I want to thank Ronnie Castillo and Carla Garcia for coming on this show to have the strength and the vision to say enough is enough. Now, those are people that I love. You know why? They have the spirit of resilience like I do and like you do out there. So let's continue to fight and don't stop. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening. Thank you, Ronnie. Thank you, everyone. And thank you for watching our show. May God bless all of you.